Today we will do the seventh chapter of First Flight. The name of the chapter is Glimpses of India. Hello students, today we will do the seventh chapter of First Flight. The name of the chapter is Glimpses of India. The chapter is divided into three parts. The first part is a baker from Goa. In the second part, there is the story of Kurg, which is a beautiful place in Karnataka. And the third part is related to Assam. The title of the third part is The Tea from Assam. Part 1, A Baker from Goa. This is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. Goa is very much influenced by the Portuguese. Their traditional work can be still seen there. The Portuguese are famous for preparing the loaves of bread. We can come across the makers of bread in Goa. The furnaces baking the bread still exist there. The story takes us back to the time when Portuguese ruled Goa. They were immensely famous for their breads. The narrator often finds his elders thinking about those good old days and telling them that the famous breads date back to the time when Portuguese ruled over Goa. They ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese have left Goa, but the bakers of bread still exist. If not the original ones, their legacy is being continued by their sons. There are some important words given over here. Just write down the meanings of these words. Vanished. Disappear suddenly and completely. Molders. A person who molds dough into a shape. Furnaces. An enclosed structure in which materials can be heated to very high temperatures. Extinguished. Cause a fire to cease to burn. Heralding. Announcing. Pedder. Word for baker in Portuguese language. Bakers of Goa are known as pedder. The writer recounts that our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. The bakers are still being referred to as peddlers. Everything about baking is still the same, ranging from those who mold the bread loaves to the furnaces which have survived the ravages of time. The sound of their arrival and the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard, just like the olden times. Here, the writer describes the coming of the baker. The baker often made a musical entry with his bamboo stick. His one hand supported the basket on his head, while the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would go house to house and greet the ladies before handing them over the loaves. The parents would scold the children and make them stand aside. But as eager as they were, they would climb a bench or the wall to peep into the basket. The baker used to be the author's friend and guide. He used to come twice a day. The sound of his bamboo woke the author and others from sleep. The author used to run to him for bread bangles. The maidservants used to buy loaves and carry them inside the houses. The writer described the love of the children for bread bangles. They did not even bother to brush their teeth before having those bread bangles because it seemed unnecessary effort for them to pluck mango leaves from the branches to use them for brushing the teeth. They considered brushing unnecessary because the hot tea could effortlessly wash their mouth, and they thought that animals like the tiger never brushed their teeth. Bakers and their breads are very important in Goan culture. Bread is an important part of the Goan culture and it is evident from its presence at every important occasion. From sweetbreads at marriages to sandwiches at engagements parties and cakes and coconut cookies at Christmas as well as other occasions make the presence of a baker in every village very essential. In those days, the bread seller wore a particular dress known as khabai. It was a single-piece long frock up to the knees. Even today they can be seen wearing a half pant that reaches just below the knees. People usually comment that he is dressed like a pedder. The baker would collect his bill at the end of the month. They recorded their accounts on the wall in pencil. Baking was a profitable profession in old days. The baker and his family never starved and they looked happy and prosperous.